007 Commanders. My name, Commander Will Furion of the Vortex Squadron. Today, we're going to get into some tools, discussion a little bit about architects and colonization, things of that nature. We're going to go over some things, and I know it's a beta, and we're going to talk about it because it is in beta. We need to make our suggestions now whilst we still have dev time. Okay, so that's what we're going to do today. Hope you're all ready. I'm ready. Let's get busy. Alrighty then, we're back. Goodness sakes alive. It has been a week, Commanders. I was a little under the weather Friday, so I decided to sleep. I'm still, I'm okay, but I'm just, I'm not as peppy as normal. So, today, I want to go over my field notes for this particular broadcast, and maybe we'll do some stuff. I'm not going to do a lot of work right now. People have been helping me, and I've posted several of the projects that I've got open for the Vortex Squadron. And some other people have asked for some help too. And it seems like, we're getting some support. I know we have some silent members out there that just do things in the background. And I do appreciate all of that. It really motivated me when I started on this particular one I'm working on now to, continue and get it going. When I saw that there were other people out there, unannounced, they didn't brag about it, didn't do it. They just came and helped. And I appreciate that. So there it is, So I appreciate those folks. We got a couple 07s going out right now. We've got one going out to Urban Orange. And also re-energize me. It was very vocal today. I like that he did not try to sneak in. And so we're just going to talk about a little bit about some of the things I feel would make an architect's life more better, besides the things I talked about in the last video, which again, people, I understand now, certain words people can't wrap their heads around. Of course, they never did explain to me the actual mechanism that I was asking about, but that's okay. We're going to move on. So I think that everybody's in agreement, at least in my circle, and possibly even other circles that have no idea I exist, that the ability to place the first station is pretty much paramount. The location of the first station, okay, exactly where the architect wants to place it, not where anybody else wants to place it. If the devs want randomization, they can do it on their own time. I am the architect. You are the architect. You, as the architect, should get to choose where everything goes. Okay? Now, are there going to be people that just willy-nilly place it in the front spot? Sure. Who cares? It's their system. They can do what they want. You gave us the power. Give us all the power. We want more power. I'm going to tell you about more power that we want today. All right, Commanders, so get ready. Buckle up. Buckle up, Commanders, because I'm going to let you know. So that's one, right? First station placement is paramount. We need that. It really jacks up your flow, right? So as an architect, you're a creative, right? So you are creatively trying to come up with an idea in many cases as to what you want to do in this system. So you find the system, it's got all these cool planets and everything like that, and you want to start it, and you're like, yeah, I want to put this here and that there, and it says, hey, pick your primary port. Okay, primary port to me means the main deal, right? Maybe it shouldn't be primary port. Maybe it should just be pick your first port or something, so it doesn't sound so important. Because when you say primary, that means like the real deal. All right? Yeah, and yeah, and along with that, Urban Orange has mentioned that they continually put those things in the shadow of a planet, and in my case, the end of the planet's so far away that the sun is kind of irrelevant. So I got a couple more O7s here. We got Johnny J. Johnny J, welcome on in. O7 to you. And we've got Slow Walker. Welcome on in. O7 to you, Slow Walker. Now, so so I think that that's paramount. Now, whether it gets placed in the shadow of the planet or not is, I think that's harder to control because I don't think because everything works in a lot of planets, not all of them, work in a rotation. So if you were allowed to place it on a rotating planet, then it would be in the sun sometimes and not in the sun other times. Right? So, 07 to you. Whoop. Jeez. Hold on. Sorry. Oopsies. 07 to you, Sarge. You got a big old announcement there. There you go. Good job, Sarge. You just derailed the whole situation. And Jack Trice, 07 to you. And haulers. Yeah, we are haulers right now. I am looking at today from more of the perspective of the architect, not the haulers. The hauling, yeah, I got some ideas for that too, though. 07 to you, Rohan. Rohan, it announces automatically if you need to pay attention, okay? Now, quit derailing me. I'm going back to my work. All right. So anyway, the first station, absolutely, we need control of that. When you're placing that first station, you can definitely look and make sure that your planet rotates. If it rotates, or if because if it's in a fixed rotation, I don't think that the station really necessarily rotates around the planet. So you got to that one is kind of iffy. I'm not sure I'm not sure how they want to do that. But yes, it would be nice if more of the stations ended up in the sunlight, because then we can see them. I know it's nice and scary and dark back there, and a lot of people like that, but architects maybe not so much. They like a little light. How are you going to sell this place? If they ever give us the ability to sell our systems, how the hell are we going to sell it if everything's in the dark? Something to think about, developers. The next subject for my field notes on stickies today, I put it on sticky notes. This is fancy. We need a way to delete or remove mistakes, okay? Whether that's a timed situation where it's at the very beginning or whatever, or move. I mean, this is a management system, okay? We don't necessarily need tons and tons of realism for the management side, okay? Basically, it's just like what the developers do. They look at spreadsheets and they go, hey, look, everybody's doing this. They must love it. Well, we are looking at something similar. We're looking at a graphical representation of the system. We shouldn't, literally have to go to the system and then get down on there and start manipulating things. It's very difficult the way they have it set right now. The UI has got a lot to be desired. And, but I can forego some of that if they just give us the ability. We need to be able to delete a mistake, get an oopsie. Whether there's a refund or not doesn't matter, but we need a way to correct mistakes. For example, my first system, as I didn't know ahead of time that it was going to be placed, at the end of the system, I would have absolutely either chose a different selection, or I would have moved it to the beginning where it should be, because that's where I wanted it. Okay. That's for an architect, that's a very important tool to be able to delete or remove. Now, maybe that's only available for a certain amount of time. I can understand that. I have no problem with that. But I definitely think we need to be able to delete or remove, especially because this stuff's permanent. Once you give it the okay, it's permanent. It's not going to change for a million years, right? So we need the ability to do that. 07 to Sophia. Good to see you again. Yeah. Sophia says, kind of funny, I have no need for tools. I prefer instinct and horrible decisions. Yes. Yes. Sophia, you are correct. That was actually pretty damn funny.
That's the most outstanding answer I've ever heard. You must have a goddamn IQ of 160. You are goddamn gifted. You're a goddamn genius.
Sophia, you are a genius. Now, so that's number 2, okay? Delete, remove mistakes, whether it's timed at the beginning, whether it's available all the time, it doesn't matter. As an architect, we do not need to interact directly with the interface, with the planets and the systems. It's on the screen, okay? Any management system, and Frontier knows this. This is what really gets under my skin. They make management systems, and they know that this one's kind of a hybrid. They need to make it a little bit more towards the management side, okay? Look, we only get to do this stuff once, and then we move on to the next one or whatever. Let us make it the way we want it. Let us see our vision, okay? Okay? Developers, I know you're watching. All right. Here's one that I know there's a guy named, I don't know if you guys all know him, but I think his name's Alec Turner. He's on a podcast called the Lave Radio Podcast. He was talking about, and even Arf, I'm sorry, that's his in-game name. Arthur Tolmie, which is the community manager guy, the community manager lead or whatever. Sorry, I don't have your title right. The you can place things on the ground where you can, like, when you first place them, they're there with they have scaffolding and all kinds of stuff, and basically not finished. Well, in that scenario where they're not finished, the people like Alec Turner like to make racetracks. Okay, whether you like racetracks or not, I don't care. But he likes racetracks, and therefore important. So you can basically leave a station half cooked, and then you can use it as like a racetrack or whatever, and that's great. That's fun. That's something that the architects can add to the game for us to have fun with, to play with, right? Playgrounds. We love playgrounds. Well, what if the architect was able to pause construction? Because right now, you can start a building and leave it sit there, and as long as nobody helps, it'll stay that way forever. But I think that you should be allowed, as the architect, to pause construction. That way, it never gets finished, and then you can leave it in that state, and that should be an option. Okay? I don't know Alec Turner personally, but I have heard his discussions about racetracks, and I've heard Arthur Tolmie's suggestion that you don't finish it and then it stays like that forever. That's great. Just give us a pause button so we can say no more construction here. We don't want that constructed. We want that to look just like that, half cooked. That should be an option. I'm sticking with that. Everybody should be able to grade that. Right? So now I have no idea what you mean, Slow Walker. However, I will get, no, actually I do now. I know what you're talking about. That is on my list, by the way. So if you could pause the construction, that'd be amazing. Okay. Just let them pause it, especially ground structures. Okay. I guess you could do it to a station, but that's not as important. What's important is if people want to make racetracks, let them make the damn racetracks. Okay. This is permanent forever. This is forever stuff. And if they decide they don't like that racetrack in the future, they can continue the construction or possibly even destroy it. That's another option. We need to be able to have a little bit more control. That's kind of more of a wish list item, but I think it would be really cool if the architects could close stations with the blast doors down. I think that would be totally cool, especially if you get under attack. If the blast doors were functional, it would be amazing. But we do know that there are blast doors on the orbitals, and they can close, but we just never get to do anything with them. It'd be cool if we could. That's more of a wish list item than a tool, but that would be neat. The descriptions as to what each building does really needs to be filled out. I don't know if you can hire that out or something, but it would be nice if it said more than the same description on every single building. That'd be amazing when you're looking through and you want to see, well, what does this do? And then, what does this do for my system? Yeah, it just says, oh, it's a building that people can detect. Oh, okay, that's great. But what does it do? Let's get those descriptions filled out, would you? Come on, guys. There are you guys got 1 billion. No, not 1 billion, but you have a lot in the thousands, hundreds of thousands, maybe. I don't know. But you have a lot of people that could write those descriptions up for you guys and send you the text. And you could have your editor, whoever that is, have Arthur look at them and go, oh, yeah, it looks all right. And then just put it in the damn game. All right? We need better descriptions. This stuff is like, okay, so by the name of it, we could possibly guess that it does this or that. We don't know. We have no idea. You guys aren't helping. So help. You got all these tutorials. The tutorial's not even right because it doesn't tell you about the thing where you place your first system and it just goes somewhere where you don't even know where it is yet, unless you're like this super duper explorer guy that goes out and scans everything 100 times and does everything and gets all into the fine details, the FSS and the ABS and the CDS and all that, and they do all the S's on everything. Then you get to know. That's not the way it should work. All right. That was a mini rant, by the way. That was a mini rant right in the middle of all this stuff. All right. So I think what my good friend Slow Walker is talking about is that, we've got this crew. We have crew members that we can purchase or rent for an exorbitant amount of money. We think, and in almost every, guys, get out and play some games. How about, let's try V Rising. V Rising is a good one because you can literally, all your people, that you have working for you in your built systems, architected, are able to be sent on missions. Those missions to go get materials. The non-truckers of this game beg of thee to allow us a way to send crew members or some other paid workers to go out and get materials for us. Okay? Not everybody's got a legion of 50 people that just go around and build things in 45 seconds. Okay, we don't even want to build that fast. What we want is just to be able to get resources over time. Literally almost every MMO has this. Okay? And Elite is kind of an MMO. In the biblical sense it is. So let's just say we need help and we want you guys to provide us with the way to use those overly expensive crew members or whatever to go forth. They buy a rental truck and they go forth and they bring back materials for us from wherever. We don't care. It can all be in the background. Doesn't necessarily have to be visual. Okay? A lot of games do this. And I think that this is something, and you can tell me if I'm not understanding what you were saying, Slow Walker, but I'm pretty sure that's what you mean. Okay? Star Lancer, take me to the stars. There you go. 072 Star Lancer. Okay? So that's another thing that we need. That would be a really great tool. Descriptions, yes. Now, another thing, besides the fact that I think I would like, it's more of a wish list item, right? Where when you pick up a mission for construction, right, it goes over here. It'd be nice in transactions. So we've got this thing here. Yeah, shows us some stuff. But it doesn't even show us here what the items are, what the menu item, what are we looking for? What would be nice is if you could either export that list to a tab delimited or comma delimited text file or something, just so we can get it into another piece of software. Or, we need a way to have that reported so that groups like ED Copilot, stuff like that, could pick up the list. or you guys need to make it so that when people go to a commodities market, that all of the materials that you have, because you are a member of this mission, will highlight in the store, so people don't have to go through so many hoops to figure out what it is that they need. Yes, re-energize me. Did I already 07 you? I think I did, didn't I? Wait, I'm looking because I'm not giving you 2 today. Okay, no, I did. All right. All right. I'm just kidding. Here's another one, buddy. All right. So, yeah, yes, of course. Well, I mean, whatever. It doesn't matter. All MMOs have this. Warcraft-like workers, Starcraft-like workers, any craft-like workers, they all have helpers. Even V Rising is one that I love because you can just send out multiple missions, as many crew members as you have. You can send them all out, and we'll give them something to do when they're not working, because we're already paying them for nothing anyway. So maybe that needs to be reworked a little bit. Material helper got an update for colonization. What does that mean? Material helper got an update for colonization. Does that mean that they're moving forward with that already? And I didn't need to include that on my list? Because that's a really great thing. That's something we need help. We need help with, because not always can I always rally the troops to help me with every single project. And as an architect, I look at the galaxy in a much larger scale. I look at it like, okay, I want something over here. I want this eventually, and that, and this, and that. And I can't start all those projects because, well, for one, you got to get past the 30-day phase, right? So if that gets approved, then you can move forward. Now, maybe the 30-day phase doesn't have the helpers or whatever, but after that, everything after that, you should be able to bring in materials to your system, that you need for colonization. And the devs can figure all that out. No, what it doesn't do, Urban, is it doesn't show you. If you want to hump your way through all the different menus and go through the map, and you want to open the map each time and you want to look, blah, blah, blah. Right. I understand that there is a way to see those things, Urban, but it should be more convenient. We shouldn't have to keep hopping back and forth through menus, doing all this stuff. It should just be right there. I don't like having to go back to the galaxy map and then look through and find out the stuff. It would be better if we can have it pop up in our face or just be highlighted in the store. Okay? So I want to make that very clear. I understand that there is a way. It's a workaround. Should not be how it works. Okay? It should be better. I want them to make it better, Urban. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I got to be careful what I say. I know people, they get argumentative with me sometimes. I'm not saying you are, Urban, but I'm just saying in general, people just want to. I understand that there's another way. That's not the way I believe in my heart of hearts how it should work. And I am here to let the developers know, to let you guys know what I'm thinking. Because, sometimes I got great ideas, sometimes not so great. Exactly. Sparrow, welcome on in. Good to see you. 07. So the description, the helpers, like I said, it could be a lot of different things, but it just has to be in a way. Because like right now, I showed you guys this the other day, but so what I do is I go and I make a list, right? And then I go through, oop, that one's 0. So I go through and I make a list. And then when I'm at the store, if I clear out a list, like say, like that last one, if I would have bought 200 or whatever those, and I had more room, I could go, oh yeah, we still need this and this, without having to go back to all the way back to the map, and then through the thing, clicking on this, and clicking on that, and then looking, and then going, okay, and then you have to clear that all the way, and then you go back to what you were doing. It's very mentally disturbing. You know what I mean? It's just needs a better flow. That's all I'm asking. All I'm asking for. Flow, baby, flow. I want this stuff to flow more quickly so we can get done what we need to get done in a timely fashion. Not everybody's going to sit around for 15 hours trying to figure out every little detail of every little thing. There's some things I think should be right in your face, and that list is one of them. Okay. I think that's basically it for my list. Let me just double check. Yeah, yep. Yeah. Woo. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, I think that's it. That's it for my descriptions of things I want. All right. So we're looking at not a bad amount of time today. Oh, well, I have not looked. See? And so I have not looked. Oh, well, thank you, by the way. Whoever's been helping me, I appreciate it. All you guys have been helping me out with this one. I appreciate it. Let me just see. Okay, so are you kidding me? God damn, boys. Damn. Oh, my God. My list is wrong. Okay. All right. Hold on. Steel. 0. Thank you. God dang, that was a lot that you moved in there, bud. Appreciate it. And then titanium's moving, so that's good. 4, 6, 8, 4. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. So wow, this thing's going to be done today. Yeah, we're almost there, Uncle Jay. We need 4684 on the titanium. So if you got any, 072, you can bring them on in. Yeah, so this is the best way that I found to do it. It's just the most convenient for me because I'm not going to sit there. That throws you out. That throws you off when you're like you're looking at this thing and you're like, okay, what do I need to buy? They're not highlighted and they're not, and the order that they have things in to me is lunatic, right? Lunacy, because it's just like, well, you got metals and you got this and you got that and you got this and you got that. And it's a nightmare. You know what I mean? I would just prefer if it was just in alphabetical order, not broken up by groups. To me, that would just be fine because then I could just go down to, or let you search for it or something, where you could actually get to it within a reasonable amount. I don't know whose eyes they're using when they're doing it. Not everybody can read that fast or that well. I mean, sometimes it takes me a few minutes to figure out even what the thing says. Sophia is asking, what do you think of setting an expansion cooldown based on a 1 day per planetary body you claim? This allows for a more balanced expansion for players. Without fully understanding the context, what I would say is this: I don't think you should limit how fast players expand. For one, I think we've already figured out that it's a ludicrous amount of time it would take for us to fill up the entire galaxy, right? Now, as we move out, right? So we've started at the bubble. Okay, this is my representation of the bubble, is my hand, right? And then as we expand out, that bubble gets bigger and bigger and bigger. We're going to have to start creating things. Now, I know they're going to give us some megaships to help us with the early. That's all they're giving us is early expansion. Then when we get out far enough, let's say 10 jumps to move your stuff without a carrier is a lot, right? So like right now I'm doing one that's like 5 from where I was picking up stuff. Now, as we get out here, right? We get out and the bubble is this big now. We're going to have to, people are going to need to start building things to complement getting materials further. So that's what this station is. This is one that I'm working on now. It's basically to provide materials for people that want to build past this point. And people are going to have to do that. We're going to have to build agricultural and other material, raw materials. All that stuff needs to be generated over time, right? So because when we get out further and further and further, there's going to be less for us as far as, nobody's going to want it. where you can only take things with a carrier. That's going to just take, especially if the carrier jump times remain at an hour. I think I got one last night that was 40 minutes. I was like, oh my God, oh, I can only watch half a movie now, So, yeah, so there's a lot to be considered, but I don't feel like that hindering people for a day is necessarily, I don't know what it would solve. I don't know the balanced expansion. I don't think we should control, because some people can obviously expand faster than others. And that's just the way it is. If you're trying to like make it so that everybody keeps caught up, I don't think that should be an issue, because if you can't keep up with them, you can leapfrog them. Okay? So if Joe Blow built 15, systems going out into the black, and you want to go build off of his, you can do that. And if you have your own squadron with your own, and you have it attached to any minor faction, you can do that, right? So you can like, if you want to attach you want to attach it to Vortex Continuum, for example. If I do that, if I hook up Vortex Continuum to the squadron, then whatever squadron you're a member of, when you build a new system, you will automatically retrieve the minor faction that's connected to it. Right now, I don't have it connected. But if I connect it, then you can do that. And then that way, your name is always going to go on the system as the architect, right? But then if you also want to have a presence there in the form of a minor faction, you can do that as well. And I can show you, actually, I don't mind showing you guys that. This is something that probably a lot of people don't know about, I would say, because I didn't even really understand it till recently, and I've had a minor faction for a long time. So if you're in your squadron, say it's your squadron or your squadron, whoever squadron it is, and you go in there, you can go down to the squadron management, and you go to the settings, and right here you can choose a faction. Now that faction can be any faction, any minor faction, maybe I don't think majors, but minors at least, if you're allied with them. So right now, I didn't finish allying this account with my minor faction yet, but I'm getting close. Azimuth Biotech is an option because I did I opened up I got the Ambuni permit. To do that, I had to become friends with Azimuth Biotech. I had to become allied with them. So that's why they're an option. So I can literally have everything be Azimuth Biotech if that's, if you like them, yay, whatever. But as your older accounts will be allied with more people. So you can ally with anyone you want. And basically every time you build a system, it will take that and put it in there. Now that's not to say that it's going to stay there, okay? Because at least as far as I remember, if it's not your home system or your point of origin, you can be removed from a system, which is fine. As an architect, I don't think it's as important that you are in charge of everything, because literally you're not going to be able to keep up with that. Because while there's a lot of people expanding and building, there's a lot of people that are trying to take advantage of the fact that everybody's busy and they're not able to fight. So they're going into these systems and taking them over, right? Now that doesn't matter to you, because you're still going to get paid. The architect's still going to get paid, right? It's like you build the amusement park, you get paid. You don't care really who runs it, right? Doesn't matter. Whoever runs it. Just let them run it. And as long as people can get in there and do that, that's why I don't know if they would let us do stuff with the blast doors and stuff. I would think it would depend on whether or not you had full control of the system to really be able to do that. Because otherwise you could screw with people too much, right? Like, say Azimuth or whoever took over my system and I didn't want them, to be able to use the blast doors in any of the stations. I could just shut them all off. So it would be more of a thing where you could do that if and only if, that you are in full control, like your squad, your minor faction, everybody has full control. Then that would be something that would be neat. I just like the blast doors. Okay. I'm just a blast door guy. Anyway, So that's how you do that. So that's something that not a lot of people know about. So you can make a squadron of one. You know what I mean? You don't have to have members. You can say you're accepting them. You can put in your tags. You do all the things. You set up a squadron. You want to join my squadron? Feel free. You know what I mean? If you want to join it, you just go into the thing and you apply. You know, or you go to. You got to look up the squadron. So you'd go like, okay, so if you're in another squadron, you want to leave, you want to be a member of my squadron, boom, right there. You leave the squadron, you come in, and then you go back, right? And then you go over here, and you go to browse, and then right here, oh, you can't see it because my head's in the way. Hold on. So that right here, you type in VS99, VS Vortex Squadron 99, right? And then I think if you just, yeah, there you go. So there it is, right? And then you click on it. And then on this page, there's a, join squadron. Now, that's fine. You can do that and not a problem. And then now I will eventually attach a minor faction to this, but I kind of want to wait because I don't know if you can change it. I don't know. Does anybody know that, whether or not you can change your minor faction that you're in league with in this menu? In this menu back here. Yeah, one more. Hold on. Gotta go back one more. Squadron management, settings. In here, once that's set, can you change it? That's the only reason I haven't set it yet. Because otherwise I would have set it to Vortex Continuum and then I would change it later, but I don't know that it can be changed. And there's no help thing here, so I don't know. And I don't want to make the mistake. I don't want to say Azimuth Biotech and then not be able to change it later. So that's one thing I'm kind of grappling with. So that's why I have not attached it yet. And again, anybody that's been helping me with this system, man, I appreciate you guys. That's really cool. In the Discord, if you go to the Discord, I have a list of things that I've put into play. And if you want to help out, please feel free. All you got to do is go in there. You want to self-verify yourself you can do it. You can either join the squad or you can just be a prospect, which means you're just thinking about it, or you can just be verified. Any of those three things gives you full access to the Discord. You're in. Okay, you can go talk to people. You can leave messages. You can do whatever. Talk to me, whatever you want to do, okay? So if you want to help with the other projects I'm working on, maybe some people are. I haven't been over there, so I'm just waiting right now to I'm going to, probably today I'm going to finish this, and then I'm going to, do what I got to do. So we're going to try to finish this today, maybe. I know there's some threat of, people trying to steal stuff or whatever. Hopefully that's not going to happen. But if it does, we'll get it back. It'll just take some time. Because everybody that helps is listed on this system as helping, and it'll go into the new system once this system's done. Okay, so thank you, Urban. Appreciate you. That is a good thing to know. I guess I didn't Google it, but I wasn't, I was more concerned of doing it and then not being able to change it. That's where I'm at. So what I probably will do then in that case is I will connect for now, I'll connect the Vortex Continuum, and then later down the road we'll connect the new one, whatever the new one is, because I'm going to make a new one during Vanguards. So depending on how that all integrates with everything, but I'd love to be, that's interesting. 419, that wasn't too long ago. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So Urban is saying Google as of 419 ascendancy release you can change your squadron's faction and power affiliations at any time. Faction and power. Power. How do you change the power affiliation? What I want to change is the ability where I don't mind if we're independent, but I don't want to be I don't want to be I don't want to be anarchy anymore because of the murder stuff that goes on. Say Nova, oh 07 to you. I have two. I mean, you got. Is it a race? I don't know. Is it? Are we competing? If we're competing, let me know so I can get busy. Then I'll kick your ass. Yeah. So I have two. Oh, nothing. Okay. Well, Sinova. Now that yeah, no, I'm not. No, I'll never calm down. I'm very, very excitable. So the wrong Yui. What does that even mean, Sparrow? What are you talking about? So yeah, um yeah, I would like to be able to change. And where is that? I don't. Yeah, I didn't see because all it says right now is that I can change the minor faction. And now, can I change? Well, I don't know if I'm going to be allowed to, but I need to. I wanted to change the Vortex Continuum to not Anarchy. Malcolm, oh 07 to you. All right. Yeah. So that's the tricky part. Is if the Vortex Continuum wasn't Anarchy, I would have brought them. I would have brought them out. Here and everywhere to do the thing. So yeah, we've got two. Well, for the Vortex Continue or for Vortex Squadron, we have two systems. However, a lot of the guys have built their own, so there's a whole bunch of other ones that are related, and so we'll see how that goes. We are currently kind of on pause for like doing any war stuff until we get settled down a little bit, and and then I do plan on getting some more systems for the Vortex Squadron in different key locations that I have determined by my own hand. And basically, it's just me scooching around on the map and going, "Hey, man, look over there. I like that place." And then you go over there and you build something. That's how. It's very scientific. Very scientific. So, yeah. Yeah. Well, a lot of people in this game do compete with each other. So I was like, when you asked me how many I was like, what does that mean? Because I'm always thinking that somebody's trying to challenge me. You trying to challenge me to a duel? Oh 07 Jack, good to see you. Power affiliation means which power of the 12. Oh, okay. Not superpowers. Okay. All right. Gotcha. You're right. That is right, Jack. Good job, man. You got me. I wasn't. Yeah, I was thinking on a more macro level. You're right. Power affiliation. Yes, I know I can change the power affiliation as well. The what do they call those? Those are still, what kind of powers? They're just power play powers. I don't know, whatever they call them, because the superpowers are like, Empire, what is it called? Alliance and Federation, right? We used to have to pick those. They've kind of taken those out of the mix. For some reason, they're kind of moving away from the three big powers, and now they've broken it down into these little smaller powers. Crawl, 07 to you. Yeah, power play is the 12. Yeah, 12. Isn't that an interesting number? These guys love Battlestar Galactica. There's so many Battlestar Galactica references in here in this game right now. It's even getting crazy. Yeah, Empire, Fed, and Independent. Well, no, it was Alliance, not Independent. Well, Alliance would be, an Independent would be the fourth. Well, Sparrow, we, the Thargoids are on a break, man. They're going to be on a break. I'd be willing to bet you're not going to see any new Goiden stuff until after 2025, because what they're doing right now is they're giving us stuff we've been wanting for a long time. The Thargoid War wasn't really what the player base wanted. Okay, the by and large player base. That's the whole reason I came back to the game, was for that. So bonded. Okay, so you want. Well, that was a thought. They did think about. I mean, the player base thought about it. I'm not sure how if the devs thought about it, but there was an idea of having the Thargoids as the 12th or the 13th colony or the 13th superpower. But they didn't end up doing that. So I don't know. I think there was. I'll be honest. This is like real talk for a second. I really feel like that there was some kind of snafu at the company because they buried almost all of the Thargoid stuff right, like right after the. You know what I mean? For one, they built tech that took them years to build, right? And they basically wiped it all out from the game, right? And that to me, I mean, most game companies do not do this. I've never even seen a game company that does it. I'm doing great, Carl. How are you? So I don't know, man. I mean, they literally wiped out Titans. Okay, I didn't think they were going to do that. Why would you spend 2 years or 3 years making this thing and then just wipe it from the game? That doesn't happen, guys. It doesn't happen. I'm just telling you. I've never seen not. I've been playing MMOs since 1988, and I've never ever seen them wipe something that quickly. Okay, they might change it or they might enhance it, but they never. I've never seen them wipe it. They wiped out Spire sites. They wiped out, you know, all but two or all but four conflict zones for Thargoids, and they're like the old crappy ones that don't even work that good. Oh yeah, sorry. I turned it off because I was showing you guys something. Anyway, so there's four, right, that I know of that are conflict zones. Now they have signal sources, but anybody that's a real AX pilot, not AXI pilot, but AX pilot, those are not fun. Okay, there's no fun there. Zero. The fun level is zero. Besides, those guys are passive. I don't agree with killing the passive Thargoids. I'm not a fan of that. Okay, because they're not threatening to us. They're not doing anything that we know of. They only get aggressive if you aggress on them first. Now, the ones that came to kill us or enslave us, those, yes, have no problem shooting those all day long. I love shooting those guys. But for them to wipe out that many systems, that many game loops, they just killed like so many game loops. And they left things, on the table. There's certain materials that are super hard to get now, if at all. There's certain things we can't build anymore. They obsoleted most of the Guardian stuff. They obsoleted a lot of the other tech. I mean, the only tech that's really viable now is the AX enhanced multi-cannons by Azimuth, because I don't know, aren't those passive, Jack? But anyway, the Azimuth AX enhanced multi-cannons are those are the only ones that work on both human and Thargoid. So those weapons are okay, and you can still get the parts. You can still get the materials you need to build them. Those weapons are cool. Now I use those a lot because I used to show people, after the war, people are like, "What am I gonna do with all this stuff?" Okay, look. So I did some videos where I showed people that you can still use them. They work against humans. They're not necessarily the most efficient or best in slot, but they do work, and you can use them and just keep on a trucking. Now, the Asterope, you'd have to tell me more about that. I've not been out. The Asterope Thargoids, as far as I know, are passive. They're the kind, if they're the ones that pull you over and they come up and lick your face and then turn around and go away, those are what I call passive Thargoids. Those are not a threat to us. Because they only get aggressive, and they have gotten aggressive, but only after they were provoked by a warship or people sticking needles in them or whatever. So those are retaliatory. I like the ones that when they see you, they come and kick your ass. Yeah, I haven't been over to Astro, Jack, so I'd have to go see. I don't know. I've not seen any videos about them. So I don't know like who's fighting them because I don't. Do me a favor and get on the Discord and give me a coordinate or something so I can go see. Check out the Discord and come talk to me about that later after the show, okay? Because I'd be interested to go see what kind of Thargoids are. So yeah, but the ones that are fun to fight are not in signal sources; they're in conflict zones. So there are at least 4 conflict zones in California. You can fly out there. You can fight them all day and all night. It's fine. The only caveat is it's got the it's set up so that it goes through the waves of Thargoids, and then when you get through all the waves, then it sends you in a Hydra to fight, and that's okay. That's fine. I mean, it's not my favorite. My favorite was the invasions. Those were my favorite because there was always a station nearby that you could just go repair on. Now we've got it set up to where we have a fleet carrier that's really close to the actual entrance to the conflict zone. The conflict zone's permanent; it doesn't go away. So we do have that, but it was just always more convenient if you were fighting around a station and then you could just do repair, reload, and rearm and all that, refuel, reload, rearm in the station right there. That way you didn't have to leave the instance and come back and then retarget everything. So the one out in California, the ones that are out there, they don't always work right. Like I think they were probably the first versions of them, so you can kind of tell. It just feels like you're playing in old tech. But it works, and we can still do what we need to do out there. Almost the whole squad that's currently in the group now has made enough to get carriers and stuff like that. And most of them did it through Thargoids. Now, not all of them did, but a lot of them did. And because there's other ways to make money. It's just nothing beats doing $500 million a day or $1 billion a day. Thargoid can do that a day. So you can go pretty fast. You can in less than a month you can have a carrier, and you don't really need a lot of. You don't need it if you have friends or if you have a squadron. It's pretty easy because all you got to do is tag the goids and let your buddies just wreck them. And then you just go, yay! I got money. Okay, well, like I said, just send me some stuff. I don't know Willie, so send me the link. At least send me the link to his channel, and I'll take a look, or I'll fly over there and look at it. But I haven't been to Astro because when I've talked to Highlander about Astro, he's always talking about he goes over there to get parts, but he always says, and once I got him to understand what the difference is between the passive and the aggressive. The passive will just come up to you and stick their little tentacle out and lick you, and then they'll fly off. Now, if you pull your weapons out or if you do anything to them, then they'll fight you. But that's not the same as when you go to the conflict zone. Everything, the single Thargoid in there is trying to kill you, not just the scouts, all of them. Like they all come for you, and you can't like fly around them and do all that cold orbiting and blah blah blah. That doesn't work in a conflict zone. So. That's where you get your groove on, right? That's where you get your actual fighting legs, is fighting those guys because they're tough and they don't stop coming for you. They keep coming and coming and coming, And fortunately, they did allow AI to help in those because otherwise it's really hard because if a Medusa or a Basilisk gets their attention on you, it's very hard to shake those guys unless you're in a super fast ship, which some people do. Some people don't. People like to go in there with as many guns as they can. They want to fly around in a Anaconda, and then they wonder why they're getting their butt kicked all the time. Well, you can't get away. You can't run, and running is pretty important, in my opinion, for those guys, right? So, yeah. But I would love to give Astrope a look and see if there's conflict zones there. From what I've heard, though, they're not aggressive there. Only the ones that are aggressive that I know of are in California Nebula. And that's kind of the direction we were headed in, starting out. We want to go towards, we want to expand towards California because we like that. We like that game loop, right? So we want to be closer to it. And if we got to build a couple systems on the way, or a couple systems on the way, we'll do that. Just so that we can use our own systems to, get there and back. There'll be a perfect, roadmap for us, and we'll use it. So basically, what my thought was that I told the boys is that we want to, we're going to wait because we don't want to build like 500 stations to get over to California, but we know that everybody else might be trying to go there too in the AX community. So we're going to wait until they build out far enough for us to say, okay, 500 light years out, we're going to look for a spot, and then we're going to pop a, station there, and then we'll wait again till they get to the California Nebula, and then we'll pop one in there somewhere, wherever it is, just enough so that we can we can use our logistics, because we have a logistics system now where we transport people from the bubble to California and back. So we want to continue that, keep that logistics system going, but we want to do it with our own stations at some point in the future, right? So right now we just use, we have a set route. Well, we have two, right? There's one that's near Shinrarta, and there's one that's near Diagondri. And either one of those is fine, because then you just jump off our carrier or whatever, and then go one or two jumps to your, to the bubble, to the core bubble. And so we want to continue that. So we're going to move, eventually we'll move, that logistics route will go to California, but we're not going to do every 16, we don't want to do that. We don't want to do every 16 light years. We're just going to wait. And then, that's why I was telling people, you can leapfrog people. You don't have to do all the work yourself. There's a lot of people trying to build stuff, right? And except for now, they can't go any deeper, but you will be amazed at how fast these guys suck up these systems, and then they get them online, and then you can just use their system to get to the next one that you want. And I was going to show everybody how I did that the last time, because I know you can use things like Spanch and Inara to find out where certain kinds of systems are, but finding also one that's within 16, that's not available, also within 16 light years of a colonized system, that's where it gets tricky. So they do have a mechanic in the game to see that. So I kind of like that, where you can see what's going on. Okay, so 15, 16, whatever it is. I get different numbers, man. But in any event, so 15-ish light years at the moment, and that will increase. And I understand that. Thank you, Sparrow. So whatever it is, doesn't matter. What matters is that, we're not going to, my group's too small and not motivated enough, because they're all fighters, right? They're all mostly combat pilots. There are people that do other things, but we never hear from them, and they're always like out in the black somewhere, 3 million light years away. I don't know. They're always gone. So we don't ever see them. But in any event, the combat guys really don't like the trucking thing. And that's to be expected. The truckers don't necessarily like to go fighting. So it works out. We love them. They love us. We love each other, and we go take care of business. But, so it's going to be interesting to see how to do it. But yeah, so my idea is not to try to build everything ourselves. It's to leapfrog over somebody else, whoever, and maybe it's a, several different groups that all leapfrog over each other. I'm sure I'm not the only one that came up with this idea, right? Why should, my little band of bandits that don't like trucking, have to do that. But in the meantime, while we're doing that, we also have to create more materials out there. So there is going to be a point where people are going to have to slow down and start going, okay, well, if we want to go much further, we don't want to do 20, jumps, to get somewhere, or, take the carrier, especially if the carrier's jump time is over an hour. That's ludicrous, right? So what do? You just you got to build our agricultural and raw materials, to get those CMMs and the steel and all that. And then, all the other little weird things you can get. Maybe we're going to have to build some medical stuff. I don't know. Whatever it is. The only thing, right now I'm concerned with is the CMMs and the steel and aluminum and stuff like that. I did hear a suggestion about 50 light years. I think that the number of systems for the, I did hear the 50 light year suggestion come up before. Yes, I don't have a problem with 50 light years. I don't like it's too short. That 15, whatever, it's too short. But you got to remember, no matter what. See, now you guys can argue amongst yourselves. The last guy told me 15. Now you tell me 16. See, that's what I'm saying. I don't know, but as far as I know, it was 16. I'm not going to argue about it. I don't care what it is. It could be 2 for all I care. The point is that no matter what they do, how far they let us go, it's still going to take 9,000 some odd years to populate the entire galaxy. Okay? So you're not going to run out of stuff. There are certain places I want to go. I definitely want to go towards California Nebula. And I definitely will leapfrog over some people once they get out there. But I'm not looking to, own a million systems. Holy cow, it's Willy-nilly. Oh, Willy-nilly's feeling better. Hey, Willy-nilly, how you doing, buddy? So I think that, it will be a long time anyway. And then what'll end up happening is even if they let us go further, there'll be a lot of stuff in the middle, and somebody will try to populate all that stuff too, because there are going to be people that are like hell bent on having the most systems as an architect and all that. I don't care about any of that. I just want to be able to get to, I do like role play and stuff like that, but I also want to just be able to get to where I'm going without a lot of confusion. So this is a good thing. Soul Dagger 07, bud. Yeah, so 07 to you, SM, and okay, so the settlements can be 200 kilometers apart. I know that Alec Turner was saying that 200 kilometers is too far. He wants to be able to place them 50 apart, so maybe they'll do that because he's they kind of like him for, I don't know what he did, but he did something, and they seem to like him because they even mention things for him on their live stream. So interesting. Yeah, 200 seems pretty far apart. I mean, I understand why they do stuff like that because they just don't want people overpopulating an area. So maybe instead of looking at 200 kilometers apart, maybe make it to where you can build a certain number of buildings in an area, and then you have to go 200 kilometers away. I think they use that. Isn't the 200 kilometer thing also the distance you have to go to find plant species? Right? Isn't that a thing? Where you... Yeah, I know what he does, but I don't know what he did that he's you know what I mean? If you get mentioned on a Frontier live stream and you get mentioned in the Galnet news all the time, there you did something. Okay, whether he just had a successful racing thing or whatever, he did something, right? Like there's another guy that writes all the lore for a lot of the lore in the books and stuff for Elite. Dang it, I can't remember his name. But anyway, he's an older guy, and so he, but exobiology operates on the same premise, right? I mean, there's like a patch of exobiology, and then you have to go a certain number. Drew Wagner, that's right. Yep. Wagger. No net, no end. So yeah, so he's a big deal. I understand why he's a big deal because he's right. I mean, FDev let him write lore and publish it. Well, that's a big deal for them. Doesn't hurt to be a writer. I'm more of a doer than a writer, but I do things, and and I'm not popular. Sometimes I'm popular. Only if I'm causing a havoc, then I'm popular. At least for a few weeks, and then everybody's like, whatever. It's crazy. The guy's crazy. Yeah, whatever. Maybe you might be right. So yeah, So I guess what I'm getting at is maybe they could set it up in such a way you can have a cluster of buildings. Say it's 10 or 5, whatever it is. You can have a cluster of buildings that are so far apart, and then you have to go the 200. That's what I'm trying to get at. Maybe they could. I'm just throwing out ideas, guys. I don't know, but all I'm saying is they kind of do that with the plants, right? So they have a cluster of plants, and then you have to go a certain distance to go to another cluster of the same exact plant, and then you get your thing. No, but the system is. I'm not talking about plants and buildings being the same. What I'm talking about is the system of placement on the ground. Okay, you guys got to come a little further in with me. Come a little bit out of the game for a minute. Let's look at it from how it's built. What makes it work? Okay. Plants. They stick them in a cluster. You look for them. You have to go a certain distance to find another cluster of plants. So what I'm saying is do the same system with a cluster of buildings, say 10 buildings that you can build 50 meters apart. And then once you hit that limit, then you got to go 200. 07 to Hot Nuts. And, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about plants and buildings being the same. Guys, come on, work with me here. Think of it outside the box, outside your box. Go into developer mode here. That's how the planets seem to work as far as the biology is concerned. Now, individual, what are they called? Individual buildings themselves are not that big. So being able to place multiples in an area should be a thing, because they even do that with the plants. They put them fairly close to each other, but they're still in a cluster, and that cluster is what you have to move away from to get to the next cluster. Yes, architects are galactic thinkers. This is what I'm trying to impart on my boys is, look, you got it. They just took us out into a deeper. We're actually being allowed to mold the galaxy, right? Now, some people are just going to look at that as, I can own my own house. Great, you can. But if you're thinking about it, what's going to have to be done going forward? That's the thinking. You have to get outside the little tiny, pitiful wars and all those little things, and come out and go, okay, how can we make this work for us, going forward as a community, not necessarily as an individual. A lot of the gamers that play games like this that are competitive really only think about themselves. They don't always think about the entirety of the galaxy is what we're working with. That's what they gave us tools. So, yeah, we have to build an economy, but we also have to build ways for us to continue building. If we don't, the only people that are going to be able to build are going to be like people that have a fleet carrier and don't mind waiting an hour to transfer the materials. And even then, fleet carriers typically, I don't think a fleet carrier can a fleet carrier, if it's empty, can it literally carry all the materials for one full system? Anybody know that one? Yeah, it's 25K. Is that enough to carry? No. Right. Okay. So herein lies the rub, right? How many carriers? How many carriers are you going to need to, build a whole system? Okay, so 25, 250. So that's if you're not carrying any tritium or whatever, right? So that's still eight. That's still eight carriers or nine carriers, not nine carriers, or 10 carriers. 100's 4, 8, 10. So you need 10 carriers if you want to do it in one go. Otherwise, you got to go load up 10 times, right? So it's, yeah. So for us to build systems that can produce the materials we need, then okay, we'll go with whatever. Okay, yeah, the 11th one could be the tritium carrier. How about that? That one carries all the tritium and fuels up all the other guys. Well, that's what we were just talking about. According to the large systems, it's 250K. So now, can they do a small system? I don't know. You'd have to do the math on that. Okay. All right. Hey, guys, I'm not trying to be, totally like on the money here. I'm just giving you a ballpark, okay? Ballpark. We need 10, 11 carriers and possibly another one just with tritium on it to make sure all the boys can get to where they need to go. And then depending on how far out it is, well, sure, you can do outposts, but our outposts going to get you what you need. Besides, outposts don't deal with large ships. And that's another thing that's going to be a problem, right? You could do ground outposts, sure. That would fix it in some sense, but getting on the ground right now is just a nightmare. It's just, yeah. So there's a lot of options. We're just ballparking it, guys. We're not trying to be too specific at this point, okay? It's just we're just kind of like playing around with the numbers, okay? So basically, though, in a nutshell, it's going to be hard if we don't build our own ecosystem while we're going out into the black. Because I know everybody, I don't know why, but everybody wants to build, something at the tippity top of the galaxy, or the bottom of the galaxy, or the left, or the right, or okay, but you know how long that's literally gonna take them forever. Especially because the carrier has a limitation as well of the 500 light year jump. So, there's that. That's another thing. You know what I mean? So, it's a lot to unpack, commanders. I mean, there's just a lot going on, and I think people, they oversimplify, the thing, and they're going to fill up the whole. No, they're not going to fill up the whole galaxy. It's almost impossible. Asteroid. No, the asteroid is not arcs or credits. Sparrow. Probably never happened, but good thinking. I actually talked about that on my podcast last year. I was talking about the fact that we need to be able to go out further. And, I don't know how that affects the servers as far as, I mean, right now, how many do they have to spin up more servers when they get further? Because 400 billion is a lot, man. That's a lot to track. I mean, they're tracking a lot now, but just imagine if the game was packed and it was like, 400 million star systems were full. I mean, we'll never see that day, but I mean, it's something you could think about. You don't have to actually do it. Could be, Sparrow. There could be a lot of things out there. We don't know. Oh, yeah. But now if you go 500 and then you build an ecosystem there for the direction you're going in, I'm assuming everybody goes in one direction to start, and they go to the end, and then they come back and they fill in stuff. So, yeah, there's... that is totally outside the scope of what's going on here. They're never going to let us do that to each other. Do you know how much crying there would be a lake of tears. This game is always going to be PvE mostly. I don't think they're ever going to let us have the ability to take each other's stuff away like that. It's amazing that they even still let us take away each other's stuff just one little ship at a time. But, oh, mega ship rating. Right. Okay. Well, in any event, yes. I mean, technically, carriers and megaships, they function the same in my brain. That's why I don't really see them as different. Megaship rating. Don't they have that with power play? Megaship rating. Aren't you allowed to raid the power play ships for materials? Next week. We'll probably get them next week. Oh, yeah. I could have swore somebody was stealing shit off of them. I mean, that's something they'll enhance going forward. Yeah, the megaships. Assuming that they're able to fix the problem of whatever that jackass was doing, and messing up the database and building like all these Coriolis's real fast. If they can fix that, which I'm sure they will, but they just haven't yet, then I assume that by next week we will get the 5 megaships. Those 5 megaships though are only for close building. No, it's not for far away. When we get far away, we're going to have to come up. And well, Sparrow, I mean, it's just, I mean, I like the idea. I do. It's just currently it's not available on the roadmap. So yeah, there's a lot of potential out there, sure. But, they could go a million different directions and somebody would want them to go in a different one. No matter which way they go, somebody's going to want something they didn't do. But as far as what they've promised, they're working on those things that they promised long ago. And I think we're going to see all of that, possibly including the Panther Clipper, which I'm not sure anybody's going to like it. But if they revamp the Panther Clipper and make it work with the SCO drives and all that, I don't know that we're going to be able to drive it. That's the problem. I don't know if we're going to be able to drive it, or if it'll be executive drive like the fleet carriers. Yeah, no, gameplay is great. I would love to see more gameplay, but right now what they're focusing on is they're putting all these things together so that they can do something cool towards the end of the year, right? So this stuff you're seeing now, this is just bits and pieces of the whole picture. We don't ever know the full picture because they don't even leak their own stuff half the time. So we're just seeing a little part. This one and the Vanguards and whatever they come with at the end of the year, those are going to be major pieces and hopefully include lots and lots of new gameplay. Yeah, I don't know what they're going to do with the Panther Clipper, but as far as what's available right now, it would be a major change. I wouldn't have a problem if they just let us drive it around I don't even know what I would do with it. But the thing is nobody even knows what they want to do with it once they got it. What are they going to do with it? They don't even know. What they're hoping for is that somehow they're going to have enough power to take that thing somewhere and just blow everybody off the planet. That's all that's really when it boils down to, I believe that's what they want. Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, sure, there's lots of things like that. And for doing the colonization far, far away, that may be something they're working on building. Maybe that's what the Panther Clipper is. I don't know. I mean, I'm not positive they're going to bring it back, but at least I've heard hints this year, which is like real hints, not just people saying, Panther Clipper, Panther Clipper. It's the only word they know. Free Anaconda, Panther Clipper. Yeah, well, it would be. Anything they build now going forward would be SCO enabled because that makes them lots and lots of money. Okay? So anything that makes Frontier lots and lots of money, it's going to be in the game. It's going to be in every single thing in the game going forward. What time is it? Oh my, we've been at it for an hour and 20. We've really been booking at it. I don't really feel like taking a break, but hey, let's do something fun because I haven't done anything but yip yap the whole time. Let's go ahead and rate my thumbnail for today. We got a architect on board, Serephina Vergara.
This world of color
Give them time, Sparrow. They will. They still will. All right, Hot Nuts, give her 10. She's our architect today. I don't want to think about Cargo. Nice. Thank you, Dino. Thank you, Sean. Sergeant. Are you okay? Urban Orange. Thank you. Jack. 7.5. Like it. Yeah. All right. Thank you, Willie. Yeah, I have a hard time walking and chewing gum, boys. Sorry. All right. Well, that's our new architect for the system we're working on now. Serephina Vergara. Her blouse popped open. I don't know what happened there. I didn't tell it. I didn't tell it to do that. But look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, beautiful structure that the Vortex Squadron owns. So today we are talking about toolkits and options for architects to make a better galaxy. Well, I'll fix it. Sometimes I have spelling errors. We'll tune it up, so you can dock me a couple points for that. 07 Extreme. Late as always. Love it. Well, come on back. Why don't you come on back to where we are, Extreme. You're okay. Let's go ahead and abort that mission for now. We're gonna reassess. Yes. No, I'll fix it. I just, like I said, I occasionally I get a little bit of too much of a hurry and I don't think about it. Fortunately, my channel's not that popular, so hardly anybody will know that it was a mistake.
Shades of red and hues of blue. Every artwork speaks to you. A language loud.
I got the memo when you said you broke it.
Feel the rhythm, make your choice.
But we're fine for right now. Extreme. Come on back, man. Come on home when you get a chance. We'll go ahead. We're going to reassess that. We'll get back to that issue. We'll get back to that mission. So there you go, boys. Outside the spelling error, that's Serephina, and she's our architect of the day, and so she's the one that gave me all these ideas. So and I'll fix the spelling errors. Don't worry, guys. It happens. So there's just a lot to unpack. I know there's a lot going on. Hopefully everybody will be everybody will be back in 100% next week, I'm hoping. I don't know what if they're going to have to do another server-side patch, or if they're going to have to do another client patch or whatever. But obviously they had to come up with some ideas. This is not the first game that I played where there was something catastrophic that happened, and it lasts for a bit of time, and then it goes, and then they fix it and they move on. They're not, they're not going to give up on this system. This system is integral to the next system they make. So they need this to work. So it's going to work regardless. It's going to work. They just have to come up with the right. And it's kind of why they kind of dumped it in our laps as a beta, because they knew, because as I've said a million times, the player base is too stupid just to wait till they're not looking anymore. They just go right in and start breaking everything immediately. And then telling on themselves, because this game is heavily logged, man. Like, they can find out every keystroke you've made since the day you logged in. Live beta. That's right. It's a live beta, which is, it's silly. I mean, doing the beta the way they used to do it, I don't know that it was even that helpful, because the way they used to do it, they'd have like the partners and the people that had got in early. Like, I used to be part of the betas all the time, but we don't test everything, and we kind of try to play the game, as intended. We're not necessarily going to go out there, excuse me, and just destroy everything. So, and then after that, they wouldn't work on it anymore. So now, at least now, I kind of like this better, because now they're kind of have to actively fix stuff as they go, and they'll get to a point where they think it's good enough, and then they'll stop working on it, at least in the most part. And then later on, they'll have people come along and clean up little messes and stuff like that. Seems to work a little bit better for them. So I hope they continue to do that. Fixing things as they go forward. There's just so many little annoyances, and you just deal with it over time. So I hope you guys are doing good with your builds and your systems. If you come to the Discord, which I'll give you a link again, if you come to the Discord and you need help, you can ask. I don't know. I know the boys, if they're not busy on their own stuff, they'll help you with yours. So, in a lot of cases, so just let them know what you're doing, what you need help with, where it is, stuff like that, and maybe they'll, swing by. We have a lot of silent people as well that are in the squadron, but not necessarily talkative, right? They just do stuff. So I make sure I try to post as much as I can, so that they know what I'm doing or what the squadron's doing, right? So overall, so they can help if they want. If they don't want to, that's fine. I don't have any rules for that kind of stuff. So if you want to join, please go to the Discord and self-verify yourself and get on in there. And then, you can join in game. I just showed it a little bit ago, but you can join in the game just by going to your right panel here. Go into your squadron. If you're already in a squadron, you want to get out of the squadron, you go down to settings in the squadron management, and you just leave your squadron. There's a lot of people, I'm sure, are in squadrons that are no longer active. So, Soul Daga, we appreciate you. We don't mind. I don't mind the lurkers. Like I said, I posted yesterday what I was working on, and the next day it's all pretty much all done. I was like, wow. So I spent a few hours last night doing some of it too, because I was more motivated, knowing that people are out there helping, even though I don't directly ask them. I just say, hey, if you want to help, here's what I've got going on, and you're welcome to help me, and I'll appreciate you forever and ever and ever. But then you can go, if you go back, this is why I turned off my thing last time. You go to the browse squadrons thing, and you go boop, and you hit it, and then you go up to here, and you go VS99, and then you hit it, and then there it is, Vortex Squadron. And then on this page here, you can just say, request to join. And then once I see you in there, I'll give you access, especially if I know you from the stream. Like right now, there's no pending applications. So if you're already there, thank you very much. We got 33 members. That's a huge number for us. And I'm very grateful to all of you guys that have joined and help out. Just joining is enough for me. But if you want to help out too, that's like extra big time bonus. All right. So that's basically where we're at. Anybody have anything else they wanted to grace my presence with today? I'm not really feeling good, guys. I apologize. So I will be working on trucking today, but yeah, I'm not really feeling that great, so I'm not gonna do a super long stream today. And I don't have a cold, but my body is just like, dude, you gotta chill. I think I went a little too crazy over the holidays. Maybe, who knows? But yeah, so yeah, we're having fun and we're doing our thing. And like I said, if you guys come up with any other stuff, just let me know. Just leave a comment below. And Sparrow, you're cute. Yeah, I'll send you everything I got. Let's take a look. Oh, sorry, Sparrow. I don't have any. Sorry. So anyway, yeah. So as soon as this system's up and running, I'll put in some more stuff. I'm going to try to make it an industrial. What do they call that? Refinery. Refinery. That's what I want to make it. And I think that'll give me all the stuff I want. Definitely want to generate CMMs. I definitely want to generate steel and all the other crap. What does the other stuff? Yeah, anything on this list so titanium, all that, and then I'll put together another one where we can get some of this other stuff: water purifiers, semiconductors, all that stuff. We'll try to find a place for that stuff too, and maybe it'll be in this system. I don't know. There are 2 planets in here that have rings, so we can do some stuff. And this one's great because the second sun, nothing there. They didn't even screw me. They could have screwed me on this one, but they didn't. So yeah. So I'll start working on some of these ground things to get refineries going or whatever. I don't know if does anybody know if that stuff stacks? If you build multiple refineries, does that generate more stuff? Or is it just a waste of resources? So I'm not really sure yet. I don't think I bookmarked this yet. It does stack. Are you sure, Dino? Can anybody corroborate Dino's claim right there? Because Dino makes shit up sometimes. I just want to make sure. Anybody else? Anybody can corroborate Dino's story there? No? Okay. I'm still skeptical, Dino. I need somebody to back it up. What's Sergeant say? Somebody ask Sarge how it really works. He'll tell me the truth. He doesn't lie. He doesn't fib to me. Yeah. See? That's why I'm sus about that. Nobody, not one chatter has corroborated your statement. No, not within the same system. No, there is no time limit on subsequent stations within the system that you've already built with the 30-day time limit. If you do a new system, yes, there's a 30-day time limit on the first structure. So it is in your best interest to build something small first and then go hog wild, because otherwise if you build the first station you build as the biggest one in the game, you're going to really hate yourself. You're going to hate life. You're going to hate life. Like, no. Yeah, I know. There's not a lot out there yet. I know it's a little thin. So that's why I thought I'd ask you guys. You guys are way smarter than I am. So I got a message from willy-nilly. Uh-oh. Yikes. So Willie's having issues. So he's kind of down for the count right now. Sorry, Willie. Sorry to hear that. It's no good. So an update came out today at 12:58, which is just about an hour or so ago. It says that the server issues have been resolved. So for Willie, I would probably suggest that he just reinstall the game. There's probably something got screwed up in the update, or make sure there's not another update, because there might be a new update too, because there were actually 2 last week. So make sure you double check and get updated. Well, good luck to you, Soul. I haven't seen where you're at. I've kind of got it now to where I don't want, for all the Vortex Squadron members, I only want them to post like their main system as far as a bookmark that they share with the whole squad, because, already it's starting to become quite the mess in there with everybody posting every single station they have or whatever. I don't want all that. Don't do that. It's great and all that you have them, but just the main one is fine. So yeah, so I have not posted this one, I don't think. I do have a link to it. I do have it posted in the Discord, so you can go there and you can copy it and paste it and then bookmark it or whatever yourself. But right now I don't have it pinned. I don't know. We'll find out. This right here, I can't remember what kind of system this was. Oh, it's a I can't remember what it is. I think it's a industrial. I think it's an industrial compound. Yeah, a striker, man. Love you, man. I mean, you've been helping out and shit. And I'm just like, I don't even know that I've talked to the guy before, but man, he just shows up. I love that guy. All I know is that I look on the list and he's on every single list. I'm like, when did he, cause he don't talk about it. He just gets her done. He's get her done. That's it. I don't even know where he comes. I don't know where he's been, where he comes from. He just handles it. And I'm just like, damn, that's cool as hell. That's the coolest thing I've seen today. So, yeah. All right, bud. Yeah, you do what you got to do, Willie. I wish I could tell you more. I don't know. Yeah, it is. That would be kind of neat. But I mean, let's be honest. I mean, just knowing after the fact is fine, and you can thank them for helping afterwards, after the news comes up and it prints all that stuff out for you. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, you could do either one, but like I said, I look at the news once I get this, once the system goes up, and then I just go, oh, hey, I didn't know that guy helped and this guy helped. But I've been looking and I've been seeing our striker all over the place. I'm like, how did he know? Because we don't talk. We don't really talk. So, and that's fine. I have nothing against that. It's just weird. Like I'm just like, whoa. He's like this he's like a ghost commander. He zips on in there, helps you out, and he zips on out, and he's gone again. We don't even know. He's like a super top secret agent. I don't even know what he's doing. Right? He's on some undercover shit. I don't know. But hey, man, God bless you, our striker. We're going to give our striker a good going. He's the man. He's taking care of business. So, yeah. So anyway, that's really pretty much all I got as far as talkie wise. Like I said, I'm going to have to, I have to rest more often these last few days. So I've been doing that, and I'm probably going to do that again today, but I will be on, and I will, hopefully this station will get her finished up today, and I will then look at what else I might want to put here and get those started, and also I will be looking at the other system to see what's going on there. The 2 systems have very different formats, so one's going to be like a resource heavy place, and one's commercial. So we'll see how that works out, what we end up building, and see how it works out. I don't know. I mean, there's not a lot of info out currently about colonization, so we're all discovering this together. You guys and me and everybody. We're working on this together. So I appreciate, like I said, I do appreciate everybody that's helping out. Like I said, we're not trying to knock down the whole entire galaxy all in one swoop here, but all right. So but I know there's a lot of other groups, the bigger groups, that are doing a lot better, obviously, with the speed in which they can produce things, stuff like that. And like I said, with 400 star systems, it's well over 9,000 years to complete the whole. At the current rate of 8,000 a week, that was the last number we got to, and that's a hefty number though. But it's 400 billion is a big number. People just don't even realize how big that number is. It's huge. It's huge. And so yeah, there's a lot to unpack still yet, and we will continue to unpack them. We are unpacking and just figuring stuff out as we go. And I'll share everything I know when I know it. And, and I'll let you guys, give me different answers for everything. That's fine. I like that. I knew that was going to happen. I knew somebody would create a material helper for colonization. I knew that was going to come up. Because that just makes sense, right? That's probably the best thing in the world, is to have a tracker to help, because that's as like I said, as this stuff gets further and further out into the black, it's going to be way more important to make sure that we have as best information as possible. And like I said, hopefully people will realize that they're not just going to be able to keep building and building and building without filling in these systems with the resources, to get the resources that they need to keep going and going and going. So there will be like little pit stops, you know what I mean? Somebody will build a little colony of planets that have all the resources that you need in them. And you just go to each one and then take your stuff out wherever you're going. So I'd love to see it. Love to see it, guys and gals and pals and commanders and architects. Now we got to fix the game. We got to fix the game, because now it shouldn't just say commander anymore. It should say architect now too, because that's a job now. It's an actual job in the game. They do pay you, which is nice. Better than what it could have been. With the old staff, we would have been working 700 years to just build an outpost. And then they would have said, and then it would have cost us $1 billion per, 1 billion credits per system. I'm like, Jesus, man. What is wrong with these people? They were so into torturing us, man. And we took it. And we took every bit of it. And we loved it. But in any event, guys, I'm going to get out of here. I love y'all, and I'm glad you're all here. And I hope you continue to stay here. And we are going to get out of here and go maybe lay down for a little bit, and I'll be back. Okay? Talk soon. Take care of yourselves. Thanks for the rating, Soul Dega.
Stardust in your hair, you're a cosmic dream, flying through the space on a laser beam. Galactic whispers calling out your name.
Let's get some loves in the chat. Loves. Give me the love. Give me the party time. Party time. Keeping it real. Keeping it real. And oh my God, what is that? And a smile. Yay. I love these. These are so much fun.
From the shadows of moons to the edge of the truth. Commander, you shine
Probably be back
like
tomorrow.
stars.
We'll see how it goes. I'll give you guys an update.
Wishing you all the best in the void out there. From the cosmic center, gotta feel that flare. Winging a salute like a bright comet's tail. Commander will follow, no way we could fail.
Guess I should check that member list.
Black holes and quasars, they can't dim your light. Explore me silent vacuum where whispers lead. Our beacon is bright, it never will stray. Follow the trail into the Milky Way. Wishing you all the best in the void out there. From the cosmic center, gotta feel that flare. Waiting to salute like a bright comet's tail. Commander will follow, no way we could fail. Our beacon is bright, it never will stray. Follow the trail into the Milky Way. Wishing you all the best in the void out there. From the cosmic center, gotta feel that flare. Waiting to salute like a bright comet's tail. Commander will follow, no way we could fail. Oh, we could fail. Way we could fail.